Good morning, everyone. Dobro jutro. That's the way how you say in Serbian, right? How was the opening party yesterday? Well done for making it today, for coming for the first talk. Let's kick it off. What if I tell you that you can start contributing to CoW DAO very soon, if not today? My name is Mariia, and I'm a space enthusiast as well as a core contributor to CoW DAO, where I oversee people operations and recruitment. Today, I will be talking about CoW DAO grants and solver competitions and possibly motivate you to contribute to CoW DAO or even become a solver yourself. So let's dive. What is on our agenda today? I'll give you a short introduction to CoW DAO, and after we'll dive into CoW DAO grants, what's actually the purpose behind the CoW DAO grants. And after we will finish our talk with a juicy topic, which is solver, how to become a solver, and I will dive deeper into the solver competition, and I will explain you how, the badge option works. So something fell down, just give me a second. Yeah. Can you hear me well? Perfect. Okay. So, but first, what is CoW DAO actually? So, CoW DAO is a decentralized organization and is dedicated to creating the most user-protective products in DeFi. So, it gathers developers, community members, market makers, and so on. CoW DAO has a couple of projects. One of them is a very famous leading trading protocol, which is CoW protocol. Which is intent-based protocol with a famous UI on top, CoW swap. Once you trade on CoW swap, it says move, and I hope you had experience with that already. The second one is MV blocker, which is CoW protocol actually MV protected. So once you trade on CoW swap, you don't have hidden MV fees. It's protected, but plus on top of that, for those who are not trading on CoW protocol, we have MV blocker who solves this problem for the space. And the third product, which has been launched this year in February, is CoW AMM, which is the first MV capturing AMM on Ethereum. Cool. Contributing to CoW DAO grants. Let's dive. So what is actually the purpose of CoW DAO grants? So CoW DAO grants are designed to support projects and initiatives that align with DAO's mission and contribute to the ecosystem growth and innovation. So to support this mission, we raised funds through CAP 8 and CAP 18. In the end of this talk, you will have a QR code where you will be able to check all the information yourself, and you will be able to dive into the specification of both CAPs. The primary areas of growth outlined, as I mentioned, in CAP 8, and let's dive more what exactly we are covering there. So first is community growth. We want to involve more and more members to contribute. We want to grow the products through in the space and so on. The next one is UX UI, which is crucial for the protocol, so anyone can contribute to that as well and make it better, take it to the next level, and so on. Decentralization. So as I mentioned already, we want to involve. We want to make the space, truly decentralized, truly. Involved more contributors so that to build the community, and through the CoW DAO grants, that's actually one of the way how we want to do that and how we want to build the community and involve more people who are interested in the space, who are interested in the protocol, who are interested in the organization, and who can contribute to that. Develop new solvers. That's also, I will be talking more about that today. And integrations and protocol order flow, and the list just continues. It can be legal. We recently had another project who went through grants, which is Swap, and there are more and more grants who are, just the sky is just limit. Anything you think is needed to the DAO can go through the CoW DAO grants. Let's have a look on some successful grants. The first one, which I would like to share with you, is Milkman, which actually streamlining smart contract routing. So if you ever trade on CoW Swap, once you put your trade, you also put minimum out you would like to get out of the trade. And actually, it's where the Milkman steps in and help you to find to do that. And of course, our solvers always try to do their best and also to get even surplus on top of that. But actually, to reach out this minimum out price, that's the Milkman, where it helps you, and it's basically a hook which can be also used widely by other DAOs. It's super easy to implement that, deploy that, especially if you use Kubernetes. And if you would like to know about that more, feel free to check the information on our forum. There are more information how can you actually easily deploy Milkman for your product maybe. So the grant was for 45,000, and it was successfly implemented and successfully funded in the end. The second one is privacy-preserving CoW Swap Trader Ledger Board, which was also pretty successful. And the third one, which I already mentioned today, is Swap Order with the grant of 10K, and it was also successfully funded, and our users can use Swap Order and trade, especially the bigger amount of assets they would like to place and get better price for that. And yeah, as I mentioned, MAU protection, of course. Important to mention that from June 2022, over 70 grants were funded, and some of them they're currently going. So the grant system is pretty young, I would say. It's again like only 2 years old, but we already have many grants in the ecosystem. So we have more and more contributors who are reaching us, who wants to contribute to the ecosystem, to CoW DAO, which is, in my opinion, is huge success, because it's meaning that we're building community around that, and we can do that together with you. What are actually incentives of contributing to CoW DAO grants, you might ask, right? So the first one is actually you are contributing to the community. You are building the community together. You are building the space. You are resolving the needs which are in the space and which again, like, can be solved by you. So you are the one who are contributing directly, and no matter if it's long-term or short-term grants. Second one is getting rewarded. So once you sign your application for the CoW DAO grants, you receive. You sign also with the amount you would like to receive for once it will be accomplished, once your milestones will be accomplished. Some of the grants, they're quite nicely rewarded. It really depends on your milestones you want to accomplish, on the project you have in mind, and so on. And the third one, which is actually my favorite one, because as I mentioned, I'm responsible for the people operations and recruitment at CoW, is actually once you start contributing to CoW DAO grants, short term, you can become a co-contributor. And me, as a person who is responsible for the recruitment, I really love this idea, because I believe in truly decentralized recruitment, and you don't only need to go through the formal recruitment process, interviews, and so on, but actually you can do this on practice. You can first contribute, you can actually show your motivation, you can show what can you do for the space, and potentially become a co-contributor. Luckily, we have a couple of core contributors who went through this structure, and I'm super proud, and I would like to see more and more people who are doing that and becoming a core contributor to CoW DAO. Application process, you might ask, it's super straightforward. Once you go to cow.fi, and also in the end of the call, I will share all the links with you in the QR code, where you can see the application process too. You find the template of the application which you need to fill. Once you submit it, to the forum. The grants committee might say, hey, there should be some improvements, or they might also ask you more details on your grant, or they can just go directly with final approval and placing your application as approved. To approve, we have 8 committee members, and to have approved application successful, we need at least 5 votes. How can you start contributing today? So we always recommend you to research, right? What do you think your strengths are? What do you think how DAO is? Follow the space, follow again, like the organization, the protocol, to see actually what the needs are. We are quite, we try to be as visible as possible, as transparent as possible. That's why lots of our communication is happening on forums, on Discord. So you actually can see where can you add the value, right? So make your research yourself. Of course, there are another side you can reach out and ask, hey, do you need any help on this directly, right? Both ways. The second one, reach out. Through, on Discord, we have a dedicated channel for that. It's grants program. You will also have access to that, where you can reach and also ask any questions to that. So it doesn't mean that once you reach out, you need to submit an application, but you also can have a look and overview on what the grants we already have in place. You can just observe yourself. And the third one is apply for the grant. Once the grant is approved, you start contributing. How does it sound? Good? Okay. So now let's dive to the solvers. How can you actually become a solver? But before that, let me explain you a bit more about the solver competition and batch auctions and how it works. Yeah, so let's have a closer look here. How many people we have actually who have seen this interface? Oh, wow. I'm proud. How many people, how many people actually tried to deploy a solver on CoW? Do we have anyone? How many people would like to do that? Potentially? Wow, that's great, guys. And do we have anyone from liquidity providers? Okay, thank you so much. So this is UI of interface of CoW, which looks pretty straightforward. And if you haven't tried on CoW, I recommend you, and there is a reason why. Recently, we received a comment from one of our users, who is Anon, and he said, it's enough to trade on CoW even for receiving a moo sound in the end of the transaction. So once you place the order and it's successfully completed, you hear the moo sound, which is super nice. Yeah, just for that, you can try out and see how it works. So the interface looks pretty straightforward, but there are lots of things that are happening around that, and let me explain you why. How. So this is actually the batch auction, and you remember that in the beginning of the call I said that CoW protocol is intent-based, right? Why it's intent-based? Because once you go to this interface, you choose what you want to swap, let's say ETH to DAI or any other currency. You send, so we don't make the transaction directly, but we are gathering your intent. Intent is a specific goal the user wants to accomplish in this in the space. So basically, we are gathering your intents, and we are putting them together in the order book. That's actually where the juicy part starts. The solvers are entering and starting a game. So what game exactly they are doing there? So once we are gathering those intents, we say, hey, now you have a couple of seconds. You need to provide with the best possible solutions for our users. And once you provide it, you will get also rewarded. And about that, I will talk a bit later. And solvers, they have a couple of seconds to provide with a possible solution. And there are a couple different ways how they can provide different solutions. So they can just do a single order and use some, let's say, any AMM for that. It can be balancer, it can be Uniswap, 1inch, you name it. Or they can do it more advanced, and they can do actually CoW peer-to-peer or ring trades, where they can, have different transactions and combine them and provide the best possible solution for the users. So they decide how they want to do it. And because we have a solver competition, meaning they are competing and they have to provide with the best solution. As I mentioned before about the milkman and about the minimum price out, the way how the solver is getting rewarded, it's also by not only providing with the minimum price for the users, but also provided a surplus. Let's say you want to trade 1 ETH and you want to get $2,000, let's say, right? And so our key point is do not sell you less than 2,000, right? So you have to get 2,000. But if you get 2020, $20 is already a surplus, right? So the solvers are motivated to get you not only the minimum you're requesting, but also at a surplus, because they also getting more reward for that. And of course, they are satisfying the user request and providing with the best possible solution for them. Does that make sense? And worth mentioning that solver competition happening off-chain, but the winning batch executes all intents in a single transaction on-chain. Okay? Let's move on. So all the details about the solver competition, which I just explained, you can see in CAP 38. You can check more details about that. And let's talk more about the solving batching auctions. So as I said, it can be single orders when you can just use some AMM pool, or it can be multiple orders when you have different users with different intents, and you can actually match them. You can make ring trades and so on. Here actually it's a real example. It's a super straightforward transaction of two users who are actually executing STFX to Gear and Gear to USDC. And here we can see that it's a very good example of the ring trade. And the first user getting fully satisfied with this order from the second user, and the second for satisfying the transaction of the second user, we are using Uniswap pools. Purpose of the solver competition. So the centralization and reliability, that's the main purpose, right? So we don't want to have centralized authorities at CoW who actually execute the trades and say, okay, this one gets this amount, this one gets the second amount, and so on. So we want to make it decentralized. We want to involve more solvers who can participate in this, and we really want to provide our users with the best solutions possible. And the second one is solving complex challenges. There are more and more assets, coins coming on the market, right? And some solutions are extremely complex, and it's really not easy to solve them, right? So, and by having different solvers who are, maybe some of them, they are focused on the single transaction, some of them, they are focused on the multiple transaction. They are always searching for a new solution. They are highly motivated in doing that. So that's the second reason why we want to have it. And but the main one is the centralization and reliability. Becoming a solver yourself. So incentives for becoming a solver. So first of all, you will be contributing to the space, right? Sounds cool. And you will be providing the best prices to the users. The second one is receiving rewards from DAO. CoW DAO allocates CoW tokens annually to encourage participation in the competition. And let's say, for instance, last year, we allocated 20 million CoWs. And for the current year, we allocated 16 million CoWs. And you might say, but the price is going down. It's not, because the CoW token is going up. So 16 million CoWs worth more for the current year. And the third one is making the protocol more robust and decentralized. We are flying to the moon, right? How to become a solver. So first, you need to contact the core team, and I will share the link of Telegram group where, again, like there are more and more solvers, and also people who are interested to become a solver, but they are not solvers yet. You also can overview and have a better understanding what's happening. And the second one, you have to create a bonding pool. And here I would like to talk more about that. So what is bonding pool? It's like a security pool which you need to, which would be locked for, and once you're, let's say, like not solver anymore, so those funds are unlocked. And for this bonding pool, you need to add 500 K USDC and 1.5 million CoW. We understand that not everyone can do that, especially the single solvers who are not, a team of solvers and who probably not always having those funds. That's why we created CoW DAO bonding pool, which you can join and which you can request instead of allocated your own money. As you might see, the biggest barrier is the bonding pool. So CAP7 describes the requirements for a solver to join the competition in more detail. You can check it out. And why, let's first answer. So why are they needed, those bonding pools, right? So the first reason is users' security. We always think first about the users. Solvers get direct access to the settlement contract, which we've been testing for years, which accumulates fees, and a malicious solver could drain these funds, right? So this is a security for us. And the second one is to ensure users get the highest possible price improvement, and a malicious solver could match them at limit price, let's say. So those two are the main reasons why we want to have those bonding pool. If you would like to join a CoW DAO bonding pool, is of course possible. A DAO manages a solution for the smaller solver to join a competition, and the onboarding process includes testing in shadow competing, showing contribution to the competition, and requires also keeping 25% of CoW rewards locked until exiting the pool. But there is another thing, and if I'm not mistaken, CAP 44, need to check it out, where we are discussing actually to lower the original, where is that? The original bonding pool to 1K and 1 million CoW. So please follow that and see what would be the outcomes of that as well. Yeah, and currently we have 21 solvers. So this is the story of solvers. This is the story of CoW DAO grants. This is the QR code which I would like you to scan with all the links. I would like you to get into that. You feel free even today, tomorrow, to write into the CoW DAO grants to see how can you actually contribute. And if there are any questions, we are more than happy to provide you with more information, with more resources, and see how can you contribute to CoW DAO. And yeah, and how can you support the ecosystem? How can you support the users, and so on. So yeah, we highly value all your efforts, and happy to review your application, and would be, yeah. And let's stay in touch. You can also scan this QR code. And since today is my birthday, I created I created a channel which I would like to share with you. And there actually will be more information about the recruitment at CoW, recruitment, open roles, people ops, and so on. And for those who sign today, you will receive some nice presents for me too, since, yeah, I like to give presents. CoW, stay protected with CoW DAO. We are hiring. Right now we are hiring for the marketing roles. And there are more open roles will be soon, so please stay tuned. And thank you, it was a pleasure to be with you here today. We have a couple of more minutes. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Okay, so thank you. And enjoy the second day. See you. Bye.